Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me again for another session for GEG APAC Weekend Staying Connected 4.0, the fourth time this event has happened in the last 2 years. We've got speakers from all over the Asia Pacific region presenting and sharing their knowledge and their ideas, and the participants sharing their comments in the YouTube comment box. It's been amazing to see a lot of great ideas and a lot of sharing. So during this session, I'd like you to please share your comments and your ideas. Even though I'm giving the session, I want to hear what you have to say, and you might have some kind of ideas that I don't. At the end of the session, I'm going to place a Google form where you can get an automatically emailed and generated PDF certificate of your participation in this session, and your name will go again into a draw to win a Google Certified Educator Level 1 exam voucher. So this session is on Google Search. Now, when we say Google Search, you're probably thinking, like Google Search, the search engine, but we're also going to look at a few other things. So let me share my slide deck. This is mostly actually going to be demonstration. So I'm going to bounce back and forth from the slide deck just so I can quickly copy and paste material. Now, I have posted in the comments the slide deck, and I'll do that once again in a moment. But if you've just joined us, please scroll up, and you're going to see the slide deck. And you might want to copy and paste some of the examples I'm going through today. So let me just share this once again. And I'm going to post it in the chat here, the comments. And as we go, I've got my phone here, and we will be able to communicate back and forth with each other. So let me get to the top here and wait for this to load. And you are in the right place. This is you and your students can be Google Search ninjas. My name is Nate. I teach at Nagoya International School in central Japan. I am a middle years program individuals and societies teacher, kind of like social studies, and a DP history teacher in the high school. I am also an educational technology consultant. I have a number of EdTech certifications. And anyway, today I'm going to share with you Google Search. You can learn more about me online by keeping in touch. My website or YouTube channel, Social Studies Samurai, or socialstudiessamurai.com, and on Twitter, at Nathan Gildart. You can learn about me later, because you're here to learn about Google Search. And here's the thing. Google Search has so much stuff. They have things called filters and operators, modifiers, symbols. We are going to look at a whole bunch of these different things today using examples, which is why I'm going to jump in and out of the slide deck just so I can demonstrate for you what we're doing. And because you have the slide deck, you can play along. We're going to look not only at Google Search, though. We're going to look at how you can search in Gmail, how you can search in Google Drive, and how you search in YouTube. In fact, I'll probably start with YouTube because a lot of people don't really know that there are YouTube filters. So we're going to start here with YouTube search basics. Well, we're not going to start with YouTube. We're going to start with Google Search. Then we'll get into YouTube and then Drive and Gmail. So here are some Google Search basics. First, 2 videos that I want to draw your attention to. If you go to these 2 videos, number 1 and number 2, they're gonna give you some ideas for how Google Search works beyond me. So also, I'll put a link in. I didn't do this yet, but there is a program called Power Searching. Google has had this program for several years. I took it about 6 or 7 years ago. It's called Power Searching with Google, and then there's Advanced Power Searching with Google. I'll throw some links in this slide deck later. Take the classes, short videos of about 4 minutes. And they have a lot of really great ideas. So I'm going to jump out of this deck and just quickly get into filters. Some of you may know filters, some of you may not, but let's have a look. So I'm going to open a new tab here. And let me put my glasses down here so I can kind of see a little bit better. So we are in Google Search, but what we want to do is use search filters, okay? So let me just say, I think what my topic was here. Let's say something really big like COVID-19 and let's say vaccine. Okay, so I put it in all caps there. In fact, I'm going to uncap this. something we can all relate to, right? COVID-19 and vaccine. So here's an interesting thing. Because this is a major event, a major issue, we get a lot of different information. This in particular starts with looking at trends, right? So sometimes you're going to get that if you're looking at stats and things like that. Let's say, for example, I want to find something in the news. Well, what I can do is click right up here on the news, and maybe you've seen this before. My fingers are all sweaty here, or that's been happening to me a lot lately, just with the weather. So when I click on news, I can scroll down and see the different news organizations that have up-to-date news articles. But if I click on tools right up here, now I'm looking at news, but maybe I want to sort in a different way. So maybe I want to go with something that's come in the last 24 hours or the last week. Great for you current events teachers, right? Wait, that's me too. If you want, you can sort by relevance. So for example, which is the more relevant in terms of topic, or maybe sort by the date. So here we've got 5 minutes ago, the Indian Express, the College Times. I'm not pronouncing that well, but so, and look at these. They've all just been recently within like 1 hour. So very quickly, you can do that searching by, the date and the time and that kind of thing with news. Now I'm going to clear that. And then I'm going to go to images. Maybe I want to go to COVID-19 vaccine, maybe chart. And so now if I use tools again, I can filter by, for example, I might want an image that's large. I recommend using large images because if you're going to put them in slides decks or things like that, then, well, they just look better. You could go by type. Maybe you want to look for clip art or a GIF or something like that. I think usage rights is probably the most important one we do. When we filter, let's go to Creative Commons and see if there's any chart that we can use that's free, right? That's pretty good. Let's see. I'm going to click clear. And yeah, we're still on COVID-19 vaccine. I'm going to take the chart out. Okay, so maybe I want to look at videos. And so here I can look at videos, and again, with filters, videos that might be 0 to 4 minutes. I'm looking for something that's really short. It could be a different source. Maybe I want YouTube only, so I can choose, just youtube.com. So now I'm going to get just YouTube videos because remember, I want maybe to put this in a slide deck, and only YouTube is going to work, right? And Google Slides, it's YouTube. Any quality, I might want high quality. Right, of course, because you want a good, a good-looking video. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. So basically, you should be playing around with these different kinds of filters. There's a lot more you can do with it. If you notice in the slide deck, if you click on filters, it's going to take you to a link where you can have a look at the different filters on your own. Okay, but I will point out that there is a whole bunch of different things. They used to, they've got books and shopping and flights and money. So there's a lot you can do. So let's move on to symbols now, folks. Hey, we're actually moving along pretty quickly. I hope I'm not going too fast. Let me look at the comments here. Hey, we've got a hey from Roche. Thank you. All right. Yeah, go Philippines. There's a Filipino flag I'm looking at there. All right. So now let's look at symbols, right? Now, again, if you tap on this blue the highlighted text and linked text, it'll take you to symbols. But here's an example of things that you can do. If you use the minus sign, for example, you can take out certain information. So for example, and you can use double minuses as well. So let me go back to Google search here. It's clean. So you notice I've got my example, French Revolution minus Wikipedia. So I don't want to use Wikipedia. Now, I think Wikipedia is okay for reading about an idea and information, but it's a wiki. It has so many editors. It's really not often, unless it's a gold star wiki, which has been vetted. It's not really great to use as a source, but it's okay to read a little bit about some stuff. But anyway, I'm going to paste this in. So I've got French Revolution minus site:wikipedia.org. And let me just zoom in on this so you can see that. Yeah, my fingers are getting all weird. All right, so French Revolution. All right, then a space. And notice that -site:/wikipedia.org is all together. So I click on that. And then you're going to notice right here as you scroll through, all of the sources are not Wikipedia. You've got history.com, you've got biography.com, National Archives, historyextra.com, but you do not have Wikipedia. So that just takes it completely out of the equation. So I encourage you to try that. Now, another one is using the term like a word in quotations or in quotations. Well, actually, let's just go with quotations. Actually, no, let's stick with the minus thing. I want to show you that you can use minus twice. Sorry, I'm going to go back to this here. So now I'm looking for Napoleon, but I want to put minus Corsica and minus St. Helena. Why do you ask? Napoleon was born in Corsica and he died in St. Helena. So I don't want the beginning and end of his life. I want to look at the middle of his life, right? So I've gone Napoleon minus Corsica minus St. Helena. I click enter, and then I'll notice that all of my sources are now going to make sure that they've got information on Napoleon, but not when he was at Corsica, not when he was at St. Helena. So that's a pretty cool feature, I think. Also, the quotes. Now, I think this is really funny. If you use the double quotes, then what that is going to do is look for information that has all of those words together. Now, ask not what you can do for your country, right? And let me just add to that, for your country. In fact, I'm going to copy that into the deck. Often, quoted from John F. Kennedy, but, get your students to do a search, and then you can look at the different places like, oh, was it John F. Kennedy or was it Orson Welles? Well, you click on this, and actually Orson Welles said, ask not what you can do for your country, ask what's for lunch. But anyway, the point, and yeah, it looks like he did say that. Brainy quotes usually pretty good, but you can search for certain quotes. If you're not sure who said something, then you can put in the quotations. We shall fight on the beaches, Winston Churchill, right? And then that's an easier way to find your that quote. Now, another thing. Getting a little bit, messing my deck here, messing my slide deck up. Let me just fix it for y'all. Whoops. Okay. Now I want to do with the and or. Now, if you take and or, okay, so I'm going to highlight prejudice and stereotype. So if I go back to Google search again, and I type in with the quotes, prejudice, quotations, and stereotype in quotations, you're going to see that all of my search results here have both these words in it: prejudice and stereotyping. Stereotypes, prejudice, and discrimination. Stereotypes and prejudice. If I want to look at stereotypes and prejudice and racism, and you can put them all together and really narrow that search to exactly what you want. Let me look and see. Go ahead and pop into the chat. Are you learning something new here? Is there something that you think is interesting? Do you have an idea or a search operator or symbols that you have an example? If you throw an example in the YouTube comments, then we can copy that and give it a go. We can try it out. So anyway, and you can do it with or as well. So try those. Now, another one is really fast, again, is cite, okay? So these are, what we're looking at now are called search operators. I got my iPad going on here, right? I got my phone, I got my iPad, and I got my my device here. So what we want to do is, if you want to find a specific website, sometimes a website has a whole pile of pages with similar information, right? And you want to find where that information is. I'm going to take, for example, site : and then the name of a website. So again, I'm a history teacher, so I'm going to copy in, okay, as this example, World War I mandates site : history.com. It could be site : biography.com, site : historyextra.com, whatever, site : efl.com. So if you want to find within a website some, the pages in that website that just have that specific topic, then this is what you do. I've got my World War I mandates. Come on now. And then what you're going to notice here is that all of these responses, right? All the queries are history.com, and they all have World War I and mandates, right? And it's all history.com. So I can see everything in one list about World War I mandates only in history.com. Makes things go quite a lot faster. So these are called search operators that we're looking at, by the way. And we're going to look at some other examples. So another one is link : and the name of a site. So for example, I'm going to go in and I've got this time League of Nations. I'm a history teacher, sorry. Link : and then no spaces, historylearningsite.co.uk, because I know this site has a lot of good stuff. So I'm going to hit enter. And now you notice that I've got League of Nations, and similar to site, all of these are things linked to learning historylearningsite.co.uk. It means that even these other sites have some kind of link to it. All right, let me go back to the query here. I find that one does and doesn't work. Now, if I want, I can look for related sites, okay? So if I want to find websites that are similar to biography.com, for example, right? I can put related biography.com, and it gives me other websites that are similar to biography.com. So you notice here, we got Info Please, Fact Monster, Britannica, Art Cyclopedia, loc.gov, Library of Congress, right? So let's say if I put in history.com, sites that are similar to history.com, well, for some reason, it's not giving me. Let's put a www in there and see if that helps at all. Well, that is just fancy. Doesn't work for history.com. I checked it last night, but anyway, if you're looking for information about a page, you can use info. So here's one that I think is kind of fun, marxist.info.com, or .info, sorry. Whoa, that's not what I was doing. I got to properly paste. So info.marxist.com. So I click on that, and it's going to take me to sites that talk about the site itself. It gives me information on marxists.org. Okay, so, information about that page. Let me jump down again. All right, so another one that I think is very, very useful is using country codes or a specific kind of site. So let's, for example, go to unitednations.edu. Copy. Let me go back here. Boy, don't you love Google search. So now I've got United Nations site :.edu. Note here I've got the :.edu, no spaces in there. It seems kind of weird, I know. But if I enter that, now I have got responses about the United Nations, and it's only from edu accounts, education accounts. If it was .org, then I'm going to get United Nations information from .org accounts. This is a useful tool because now I know that, okay, these are education sites and probably more reliable, right? Now let me show you what happens when we use a country code. So let's say AU for Australia. Hey, all my Australian pals, love ya. So I'm going to type in again, United Nations site :.au, because AU is the Australian domain name for the country on the internet. And let's say I'm in Australia, or I want to find out what Australians have posted in their, basically Australian websites. What do they say about the UN? So note here, I've got the unhcr.org.au. So there's the Australian link to the UN High Commissioner for Refugees. And here we've got another AU site looking at the United Nations Charter. It's also edu. Look at that, right? Another edu.au, government.au. So these are all Australian-based sites that are looking at the United Nations. So let's say I'm doing a study within my country, Japan, I could put .jp. So that as well is a good way to really filter your tools. Another one is define. I'm just showing you the popular ones. If you click on the links I've provided, you're going to find a whole pile more. So let's say I'm teaching plate tectonics, right? Divergent plate boundary. If I want to find a definition for that, all I have to do is click define, and boom, there I go. I've got that from different sources, and I've got it right here. Let's see. If I just wanted to do divergent, put that in, and I actually get a definition of the word. Divergent plate boundary is really 3 words together, so you might not get just a definition from a dictionary. But still, that's a way to find out the meaning of a word. Define : meaning of the word or a group. Now, another one, too, is all in text. If I want to find some kind of text that has all of these words together, then all I have to do is type in all in text. Woodrow Wilson had 14 points that he made for the Treaty of Versailles after World War I. And so what I'm doing is looking for sites that have all of these words, Wilson's 14 points. And so I scroll down and I can see they're highlighted, Wilson's points. So it should be sites that have all of them. I could put a quote in there too and make sure that it says it this way. See what happens. And Wilson's 14 points right there. Wilson's 14 points, because it's, in quotes, right? So now I know these sites have exactly as I've written it, Wilson's 14 points, right? Okay, let's go to the next one here. Now we're going to look at searching by file type. This is great. I will say, though, if you use this material, please give credit to the people that made it, right? Don't just copy this stuff and then make it your own. Get ideas from it and develop your own, but give credit to the people that made it. Now let's just look at it. I got a couple of comments in here. Warmest regards from Malaysia. Hey there, it's great to see you again. Thanks for jumping in. Yeah, give us your comments if you have an idea for Google search. Now, this is a really great one. We're searching by file type, right? So if you're a social studies teacher, for example, and you want to find a PDF document on source evaluation, in America, they call it a document-based question. In IB, we call it source analysis or source evaluation. So let's say I want to find a PDF document on ancient Greece with primary sources that I can evaluate and use in my class. So I've gone with document-based question, or DBQ. And it's file type : PDF, because I want a PDF, file type : .pdf, pushed all together. And when I tap on that, what you're going to notice is that all of these sources are a PDF. And when you click on the link, it'll either open a new tab. My settings, it automatically downloads. So for example, my fingers here, I'm not very good with okay, ancient Greek contributions. It's a document-based question. I tap on that. Well, usually that's going to open up and then I have to look at it. But now I've got a DBQ that another teacher made and has shared with the world, and then I can download that. Weird that it did that. Huh. So let me go back here. So that's file type. Let's look at other file types. League of Nations, right? This is the first attempt at the United Nations. But now I want a document, like a docx. In fact, let's use docx instead. If I tap on that, now I've got a Microsoft Word doc. They're all things about the League of Nations, but notice here, it's all a doc, right? So let's see. Tap on that. And this one automatically downloaded. So let's open that. And I can see what it looks like. And so now, because I don't have Microsoft Suite on my computer, it's a Mac, but I've got, anyway, the text in there, right? So let me close that up. So there's a nice example of how you can get docs. Now another one, file type PowerPoint. Let's go with Sustainable Development Goals. Most people would probably just put SDGs. So now I've got file type : PPT. This doesn't really work well with Google Slides. I've tried it before. We'll try it again. It used to work, but recently it has not been working. But now you notice now I've got PowerPoints. So, if you look here, let me just zoom in a little bit better. Yeah. So now all my search results are PowerPoints, right? So now I can download PowerPoints that other people have made, and they might give me ideas that I can use in the class. Let's go with file type Google. Probably not going to work. So yeah. So if I put in slides, watch this. Yeah, and it's not going to work, right? Let's see, what other file type was I thinking of here? Now let's put them together. So let's say, for example, I'm doing something on slavery in America, right? So we've got we've tried one file type, a PDF or a PowerPoint. Let's say I'm looking for a PDF from a site at Stanford, right? So I'm looking for a PDF about slavery from Stanford University, which has a great history program. The Stanford History Education Group, SHEG, is fantastic. And then file type PDF. So slavery with a space, and then site:/stanford.edu, and then space file type :PDF. And I put that in there. And now you're going to notice that my search results are all Stanford, and they're all, as you can see in the title, based on slavery, and they're all PDF. Isn't that great? So I have a reliable source with all these different resources that I can go to, and I found them really, really quickly. Okay, so moving right along here. Okay, now there's other things you can do too, searching by symbols. We looked at, I think, size, usage rights, and that kind of thing. We didn't really look at image search, right? And that's what we're doing right now. So let's say I want to do an image search. I can just very quickly click on images in the top right. That didn't go very easily. My fingers got all sweaty and messy. So let's go with, let's see. I did, let's see. Let's go, I don't know. Let's go with, whoops, I don't type very well. I do not type well. There, Mahatma Gandhi. All right. So now I want to get an image of Gandhi. And I think it's probably because like the D and the H and the I, I'm not used to typing that in English. I haven't taught about Gandhi in years now, unfortunately. When I did teaching about Indian independence, it was great. So I found an image of Mahatma Gandhi. We've got lots of cool people from India participating this weekend and presenting as well. So now I want to find an image. Now I've got a whole pile of options here, but I want to go to tools, right? And I want to look at, now you can see here I've got like different images, like, Bapu, which I think Bapu means father, if I'm not mistaken. We could look for wallpaper. So we can use these to actually filter a little bit, like if I want a sketch or a drawing of Gandhi, or if I want wallpaper with Gandhi. But first thing I want to do is actually find usage rights. So I'm going to click on usage rights, and I'm going to go with a Creative Commons license because I want to be able to use for free. So now I've got a whole pile of different images here. I think I want to change the size as well. I want to go with like a large image. And let's see. So I'm still seeing I got plenty of ideas here. Maybe I want to do a type, clip art, line drawing, maybe color. Maybe I want to try something that's got kind of a blue, kind of tone to it. So now notice all my images are a little bit bluish. So, if I want a bluish kind of background, maybe I want a white background or maybe a transparent background. Right. So now I can see these sketches and they're supposedly transparent. So I could put that over some other image in a slide and might look pretty good, right? So these are ways that you can filter with a Google image search. Let's say you wanted to find red planet. The red planets, and if I go to my tools and I just want to, look by color, I can choose red. And that's going to help me filter a little bit more. Maybe I want to choose wallpaper right there, wallpaper. And now all my responses are wallpaper. And I could just make sure that those are tools again, high resolution, nice big size. Right, so now I know I have high resolution images. They're nice and big. Let me just go to the usage rights, Creative Commons, right? And so now I still have lots of options. So there you go. Okay, I'm going to have a look at the comments here again. Definitely going to share this with my students. Thank you, Juan Nor. I appreciate that. That's awesome. There's lots of cool stuff in here, isn't there? I teach my students not at the same time, but when we're working on assessments and finding information, I also do actively teach my students. Hey, listen, when you're looking for information, why don't you do this? And I generally teach just one thing at a time, and then we can work on that for the day. And over time, they'll get better at stuff. So we're going to jump in now to looking at, okay, so if you're moving along in the slide deck here, I'm using my iPad and my computer, we've actually looked at citing and things like that within docs and slides. Well, we haven't done that quite yet, but I want to kind of move, actually, you know what, I will show you. Let's go to the research tool, right? You notice at the top here in the tab, we've got tools, right? And then we've got this explore button, okay? And we've got like a dictionary as well. Down here at the bottom, you've got your explore button too. There's two places you can go to it. So let's say I am doing research on red planets. In fact, if I tap on that, it's probably going to give me Mars. But whoa, I don't know why that happened. Let me jump out of here. Red planet, let me enter that. There we go. So let's say I wanted to do a bit of research here. I can look for web results. Most of them are going to be the generic ones that you get for Wikipedia, but you could put your search filters in there. So I could be red planet site I could minus site Wikipedia. And what it should do is take out Wikipedia, but it's got Wikipedia in there, so I guess it's not going to work in there. I've seen it work before. If I got my images, then I can put these in, and if I've got stuff from Drive, I can put it in. So let me go with something from the web here. Let's go with, because it's Red Planet's the name of a film as well. I forgot that. Bad example. Should have gone with Gandhi. Anyway. Now, in here, one of the problems with this is you can insert an image, right? I can tap on that and I can insert, and there I go. But with the web, it's just going to take me into just like another website. Like you see this other tab that's opened up. I can find things in Drive if I have them and put them in. Let me delete that though, because we don't need it. When you're in Google Docs, you can actually search for things and then put the website citation in there. Anyway, here's another video you can look at later to talk about, to show you about copyright and Creative Commons, because I'm looking at the time and I want to get through this for everybody in about 15 minutes. So let's go to YouTube. All right. So now we're back at Google search, and let's have a look at YouTube videos. So I'm going to look for my own YouTube channel. Sorry, I know it sounds lame, but I'm doing that because I want to show you one little thing. So I got social, studies, Samurai, YouTube. Okay, so here I've got Social Studies Samurai on YouTube, right? In fact, let me just go with Samurai on YouTube. Okay, so the Samurai, maybe I'm going to go back with that Social Studies Samurai one. All right, so if I tap right here, okay, so right here, hopefully you know this, but if you're looking for a specific video, right? Now I've got some 360-degree videos about places in Japan that I go to and I record. So if I type 360, I get all the videos in here that are in 360 degrees or have some kind of relationship with 360 degrees or have the word 360 degrees. So this is how I can search within the channel, right? But here I want to go Samurai. I'm not going to put 360. Let's go with let's see, Social Studies Samurai. So I've tapped in there. Now I know the name of my website, of course, my YouTube channel. And if I scroll down here, I get other options too that, even some individual videos that I've made kind of thing. But what I want to show you is right up here. See those filters, right? So I'm going to click. And so my search is still in YouTube. It's still Social Studies Samurai. I know this is the page I want, but what I want to do is find a video made. I haven't made a video in the last year in 360. I don't think I have. But let's say I want to find a video that's 4 to 20 minutes. Okay, so now my filter has 4 to 20 minutes. So all these videos are over 4, but less than 20. Let's say I only want 360-degree videos. I can click on that. And so now I'm going to see the videos in Social Studies Samurai that are 360 only. And as I filter down, let's see, live, no. Do I have any with subtitles? No. Do I have any with HD? Let's check that out. So now I know these videos are ones in HD and high quality. Let me hit filters again. Let's say I'm going to go with channel. And this isn't allowing me simply because I've narrowed down my search. If I go to look for something made in the last year, then I've got no results because I didn't put a 360 video up in the last year. I've made them. I haven't put them up. Let me just check out the chats here. Which is interesting. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Cool. You can learn about Japan in 360 degrees. I have more videos to put up this summer, but that's YouTube. So when you're at the top of YouTube and you've got your search bar going, type in what you want and then use the filters and then filter down. Again, if you're looking for a short video under 4 minutes, let's say it's Samurai. Sorry, I'm in Japan. I'm going with Samurai. I use my filter. I want a Samurai video under 4 minutes, and then I can scroll through. Samurai history might be a better one to look for. Anyway, that is YouTube. Now, I do want to show you as I move along here too, Gmail and Drive. So very quickly, now here we are in Google Drive, right? So, I hope how to get to Google Drive. If not, there's lots online you can learn from. So right up here, you notice that Google now is standardized with its filter button. That's what those little icons mean. They're filters. So if I tap on that, I can search by type. I literally use this like almost every day. So I'm looking for a presentation. I'm looking for a specific owner. In this case, I'm looking for myself. So I'm going to choose owned by me. And I know the name. I'm doing some videos and slides for a conference called C3 2021. So I made 4, and I want to find at least one of them. So I'm just going to type in C3 2021. Now, if I want, I can add, starred. If I want, I can add has the words. But for now, I am just going to click search. I zoomed in there, my slippery fingers. And so now you notice, I know that I've got 4 slide presentations that are only. Why is my Apple TV? See, I ended up hitting the Apple TV there. Oh, the trials of live presentations. So now I've got these, and notice up at the top here, it's got my filters, just like on Google search, right? The type, presentation, and that. I'm going to change my search, though. Let me see. I'm not going to go for a presentation. I'm going to go for, let's see. I'm going to go with a video, and I'm going to go with not owned by me. You can choose a specific person, by the way, if you type in their Gmail. Let's see. I'm not going to go for myself because I don't think I have any videos shared with me, but I'm going to click video, not owned by me. Let's see what happens. And there I go. I've got some videos that have been shared with me that are in Google Drive. So if I wanted to, I can, like I said, just play with the filters. This way you can find stuff. So this is the search version of in Google Drive. In fact, let's go with one more example. Let's see. I'm going to go with documents. I don't know the item name. I don't know that. Let's make sure. Let's see. Maybe it's got some kind of action items now. Usually you won't use that. Maybe it's a time. That's something that's been made in the last 7 days. I'm going to do that. Something that's owned by me, made in the last 7 days, and it's a document. And so here are some things that I've created in the last 7 days. All right, so I can narrow my search filters down. So let me close Drive, and let's see. Yeah, I love the emojis people are giving here. So last one is Gmail. Sorry, Gmail. I'm going to go to my social because I expect nothing in there. Let me just trash these two things. All right, so let's say, again, in Gmail, I want to search for stuff. I can just simply type in a name or something like that. But what I'm going to do is click on the filters again, and I'm going to look for something from my partner in crime in GEG APAC weekend, Manda Guzman, wonderful person. I'm looking for something from her. And let's see. I'm going to click closing because I think that might be the name of a doc. And I'm going to look at something within a day. Let's go with, 1 day, maybe within the last week. We'll look for something. Has an attachment. I'm going to click on that because I might be looking for an attachment. I might remember if it has the words, maybe not. Now, I will point out, if you got filters, you can do that as well. I'm going to click search, and I've got no messages from Mon, so I'm going to go back, and I'm going to take off that has attachment. I'm going to see what that does. Okay, so now I've found what I'm looking for, a closing broadcast of the APAC weekend. So there is a Google Drive doc linked in here, but it's not an attachment. So what I'm going to do is find another filter. I'm not going to choose who it's from. What I'm going to do is try to filter by. In fact, you know what? No, I don't need to know who it's from. I'm going to look for an email that I've sent to somebody else. So let's see if I'm looking for. Now, these are my filters, right? I create these filters in Gmail. And if you create a filter, or sorry, a label. If you create a label, I'm sure my glasses are shining here. If you create a label, you can search for any label in Gmail. So I'm working on this conference for a school board in California. And so I want to look for things actually from that conference. So I'm going to go with, let's see. And has an attachment. I think there might be something in there. I'm not going to give it a day. And there I go. I got my email that I'm looking for. Let me filter this just a little bit more. Don't have to have it with 1 day. Let's go with within 1 month. And yeah, okay. So apparently this is all I have, from this individual. So anyway, that's just showing you how you can use filters. And I do want to let you know that if you get an email, and let me just go, I'll stay with this one. Let's say I want to add a filter. When I click check on my box here, I can go up to a label. Sorry, not a filter, a label. I'm mislabeling these things here. If I click on label, I can say, let's say GEG. And I'm going to go with global GEG, just say GEG Nagoya right here. And I tap on that, and then that's going to add my label. And then I can search for that a little bit later on. So I'm going to take that label off, actually, because it's not GEG Nagoya related. So this last thing is I want to show you that I have a bunch more resources for you. Let me click present here as we wind down. And let me just look at the comments again here. Okay. So, wow, we got like 22 people watching. All right, great. So again, you can keep in touch at Nathan Gildart on Twitter, socialstudiessamurai.com. It's social studies based stuff, but I do have a lot of technology tutorials for teachers. Check that out, or Social Studies Samurai on YouTube. And yeah, Twitter is a great place to get me. I want to show you some other stuff. I have not had time to redo the slide deck here, but there are other things like things you can do in a Chrome browser to search. There's Google a Day, there's Kiddle, Google Trends. The session would be too long to show you all this stuff. You can find recipes in search. You can do math calculations. You can find how hot it is in a place today. You can find the time in another country. I've been using search to find out the time now in India so that I'm not late for sessions that I'm supporting people with. So go through this and find all these other really cool resources. And again, I will put something. Oh, there it is, power searching right there. In fact, I'm going to pull that up, and I'm going to put this in the chat for you all. There are Power Searching with Google is a course that you can take. And let me just tap on that. Okay, we're going to the wrong place here. The things have changed since I took it, but I promise I will put Power Searching in the stream for you. So let me also get for you the form that you can fill out. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. Yes, there is a course for Power Searching. If you wait for one moment, I will dig it up. I promise I can find it really quickly. Power Searching. You get a certificate for it as well. Power Searching with Google. So if you're looking for a certificate, all right, Course Builder with Google.com. Let's go on that. This did change a little bit. The course is now open, and this the material is probably the same. So what I'm going to do is throw this in the comments. Power Searching with Google. And it might take you about 4 or 5 hours to do it, both the Power Searching and Advanced Power Searching. I learned most of this stuff, not all of it. The Drive and the Gmail and the YouTube search stuff I learned from doing the Google Certified Educator exams, and then just playing on my own. But the Google search, the filters, the operators, the using symbols, I learned all of that from the Power Searching course. And it's nice and chunked, and it's self-paced, and you do get a certificate at the end. So I recommend that you go for it, right? So having said that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this session. We have some more sessions coming up from people speaking from India. I'm going to be helping out with one of them. So go back to the schedule and look at what what more there is to learn. I think we've got some slides and form stuff. I think actually in the Philippines as well. So have a look at the next sessions coming. Closing ceremonies. 10 p.m. Japan, 9 p.m. in Southeast Asia, and 6:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So yeah, have a look and join us, and we'll raffle for those the GCE Level 1 exam vouchers. Great to see you, folks. Please get in touch and follow me on Twitter, and I'll follow you back. Take care and enjoy the rest of the conference. Almost done.